I've made over $1 million wholesaling and flipping properties by the time I turned 23 years old. And this little tip that I'm gonna share with you guys today has helped me make an extra $10,000 to $30,000 on my deals on certain kinds of properties. Today, I'm gonna show you exactly what that little ninja secret is so that you can also make more money on your deals as well. Today, I'm going to show you guys how you can make an extra $10,000, $20,000, or even $30,000 on your wholesales or on your fix and flips when it comes to a very specific type of property. And I want to show you this so you don't miss out on potential deals because you thought the ARV was lower than what it really is. And so that you can, if you're not missing out on the deal, you don't miss out on how much money you could really be making. So let me go ahead and share my screen here and just kind of show you like a little pro tip that's going to really help you out here. So I came across this property earlier today and I was like, dang, like this property would be awesome um, for everyone to kind of learn about. So I thought I had it on my copy and paste, but I'll pull it on up here again. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna paste the address into the MLS, and first we're gonna just comp this property as normal, all right? And then I'm gonna kind of show you guys like what to look for. So whenever I'm comping a property, I want to go straight to my map first because you want to make sure you're comping properties that are within proximity to each other. You don't, if the house I'm comping is right here where this red dot is, I don't want to be looking at comps that are, all the way over on the other side of like East Lake Mead Parkway. Like that's not an accurate comp. So I want to take a look just right in this region right here. Okay. And let's go ahead and pull up our subject property. Subject property means the property that you are referring to. So, like this is your subject. Our subject is this bottom one right here. I see we are 988 square feet. We're a single story, single family, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, no garage. So, and no pool, no spot. So let me go ahead and I always like to comp within 300 square feet of my subject property square footage. So if my subject property is 988 square feet, I want to look at anything that is 688 square feet to 1288 square feet only. Um, so that took us from 9 results all the way down to 6. I'm pretty sure all these are single family, single story, but I'm going to click on single family, single story just to make sure anyway. And then we don't have a garage, so I want to exclude everything that does have a garage. So right here where it says garage, I'm going to put 0 in here. So far, this is all normal, right? I haven't gotten into like my, ninja trick or anything like that. But this part is super crucial for you to understand so that I can then explain the little ninja trick. Because if this part doesn't make sense to you, then nothing else I'm going to say in this video will make sense to you at all. So, okay, now I've narrowed everything down. I only want properties within 300 square feet of my subject, which is 988 square feet. I only want properties that have no garage, only single story, single family. So what do we got? I highlighted my subject once again. And let's take a look at this one here that's under contract. Looks like they are listed at $325,000. It's under contract on an FHA loan, and it only took 6 days to go under contract. Let's take a look at some pictures. Huh, I see a garage here. Didn't we filter out all garages? Chances are this garage has actually been converted. Because right here they listed that it has 0 garages. So it's probably been converted, but we can find that out in a tad second here. So all right. So from the looks of it, it's not a bad looking property by any means. Looks very well kept for the most part. But I think we can all agree that this is not a property that has been renovated, right? This is not a property that a flipper like you or flipper like me came into and just completely redid everything. I wouldn't mind, having my team flip this, but clearly this property wasn't flipped. And so it is getting $325,000. It is a little bit bigger than the subject property, but not too much bigger, roughly exactly 100 square feet bigger actually. Okay, now let me take a look at this one here. This one got 385. It was quite a bit bigger. This is like 150 feet bigger. What's 1158 minus 988? Let's take a look. So 1158 minus 988, 170 feet bigger. Okay. But it also had a pool and a spa, which we don't. Um, let's take a look at the condition. Nice. Okay. A flipper came in here and they really did their thing. They made this thing look nice. They did good. Okay. So this one, I'm definitely not going to put our ARV all the way up at 385. I mean, hey, they're 170 feet bigger than us. They have a pool, they have a spa. Um, their lot is a tiny bit bigger than ours, like 500 square feet. That's very comparable. I'm not going to say they're more valuable than the subject property because of that. 500 square feet of lot size is not, that big of a difference. So okay, with all that being said, I think a good number to put our ARV at is 340. Again, this one is bigger, has a pool, has a spa, all that stuff. This one is also a little bit bigger, but it's not renovated. Um, if we were fully renovated, I'm pretty confident we get 340. I didn't see any pictures of a garage in here. Let me look at the tax records and see if it says anything about a garage. Um, so typically it's gonna say like around here if parking. Um, don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything in here about a garage. Um, so I am definitely gonna just assume that they converted this garage into additional living space. Um, and if I really wanted to know, I would just find the realtor. I would call the realtor who's selling this property, and we could kind of go from there. So okay, I'm going to put my ARV at 340. And again, we are 988 square feet. Now, here is where the little trick comes in that can help you make a lot more money on your flip or on your wholesale. Whenever I see a property whenever I'm looking at a subject property that does not have a garage, the first thing I want to do is I want to look at the tax records. Um, if you have MLS, it's very easy to look at the tax records. Just click on tax. If you don't have MLS, you can still pull up your county tax records, but I highly recommend you get MLS access. When I scroll down to the bottom here, it says parking type and it says carport. So I'm like, okay, there's a carport here, and looks like we have a little storage unit as well. And I think the comp that we just looked at also had a storage unit. So we have a carport, and that carport is 170 square feet. So whenever I see that there's a carport, I want to look at the pictures and see, is the carport underneath the roof line? And here's why. So I'm looking at the pictures, and to be honest with you, from these pictures, I can't really tell. Like I cannot tell if that carport is underneath the roof line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just punch this address into Google and see if there's like a Google Street image, which I see there is. And okay, it's very clear to tell here the carport is underneath the same roof as everything else, right? Here's the front door, here's the carport. It's all underneath that exact same roof. So, what do we know so far? We know that there's a carport, we know that it's 170 square feet, and we know that it's all under the exact same roof. So, if you have those three things, here's what that tells you. You can convert the carport to additional square footage. Literally, all that's going to happen, a contractor is going to come in, they're going to tear down the walls right here. They're going to go ahead and add some drywall to where the carport is, and they're going to make it all one bigger property. How much bigger of a property? Well, in this case, our carport is 170 square feet. So, and here's the proof, 170 square feet, and the house is currently 988 square feet. Now, what's 988 plus 170? We are 1158 square feet. Okay, so we will no longer be a 988 square foot property. We will now be an 1158 square foot property, which if we go ahead and we take a look at our comps, looks like, oh, wait a second, somebody else, the person who flipped this house, they were thinking the exact same thing. So they turned theirs into 1158 because they must have converted the carport. And then this one over here looks like at some point they either converted it as well or it was just built that way without a carport. It was the same size like lot or like plans, whatever, and the company that the builder just built it that way, um, and it's on the same street. So if I'm looking at this as a flip or as a wholesale, my ARV is no longer just 340 because 340 was my ARV when we were only 988 square feet. Now this house right here that sold for 385 that I originally thought was, quite a bit bigger than ours and it has a pool and all that fun stuff. It's actually now a very good comp. The only real difference between this one here that sold for 385 and ours is that they have a pool and a spa and we don't. Here in Las Vegas, and this is a pretty nice pool and spa. Let's pull it up. Yeah, this is nice. Okay. For this price point of home in like this area, that pool and spa is worth around $25,000. So again, they have a pool and a spa and we do not, which is going to make them worth an extra $25,000. So they sold for 385, which makes me pretty confident saying that we would sell for somewhere around 360. So if your original ARV, was going to be 340, now your ARV is 360. And so the question that you have to ask yourself is it worth converting the carport into additional square footage? Because what if it's going to cost you 100 grand to convert the carport, right? Well, I've done this a couple of times, and on average here in Las Vegas with my contractors, it costs around $7,000 to convert here's a better pick to convert this carport to additional square footage. So ask yourself, would you spend an additional $7,000 to make $20,000 back? Of course you would, right? That's pretty much a no-brainer. You're basically 3xing, you're tripling your investment. So of course you would do that. Um, and that way, now you know that you can either wholesale that property for a little bit more if you can just explain to the flipper exactly what you're looking at. And I'm a flipper, I'm a wholesaler, I buy rentals. If a wholesaler brought me this property and detailed and outlined all the details for me the exact same way that I just did for you, I would agree with them and I would say, okay, yes, the ARV is, 360 as opposed to the 340 that I was originally looking at. So now the flipper is going to spend an extra 7 grand to make an additional $20,000, or even, if you're deciding to wholesale that property instead, you can now wholesale it for more money because you're explaining to the flipper why the ARV is higher than what they might have originally thought. So that's just something to keep an eye out for whenever you see a property has no garages. Sometimes it makes sense to convert it, sometimes it doesn't, depending on the return on your investment. In this case, we invest 7 grand to make 20. I'll do that deal all day. Sometimes, you can invest 7 grand and it'll sell for $30,000 more. So obviously, like I would do that all day as well. So if you have any questions, leave them down below, and I hope you got some value from this tip right here.